Hey, welcome back to Next Level English. I am your host, Maya, and today we have something super practical for you. Like, if you have ever jumped into a taxi in an English speaking country and just sat there completely silent because you did not know what to say, today's episode is going to fix that. We are talking all about English for taxi rides. Every chunk, every sentence, every vocabulary word you need to sound natural, confident, and like you totally know what you are doing.
And I am Tom, and I have to say, this is one of those topics that sounds simple on the surface, but actually has so much useful language packed into it. When you are in a real taxi, you do not have time to look things up. You need the phrases to come naturally.
Exactly. So we're going to walk you through everything from the moment you get in the taxi to giving directions to paying and leaving. And we're going to slow things down, repeat the key stuff, and make sure it really sticks. Let's get into it.
All right, so let's start from the very beginning. You open the taxi door, you get in, and the driver looks at you. What do you say? The most natural thing is something like this. You say, "Can you take me to the airport, please?" Now let's look at this chunk. The chunk here is "Can you take me to?" Can you take me to? This is your golden phrase. You plug in any destination after it.
Can you take me to the train station? Can you take me to downtown? Can you take me to Fifth Avenue? You see how flexible that is? The chunk "can you take me to" does all the heavy lifting. You just need the destination. Can you take me to? Remember that one.
And notice it sounds polite without being overly formal. You're not saying, "I request that you transport me." No, "Can you take me to" is natural, everyday English. Drivers hear this all day and they respond immediately. It is the phrase that just works.
Now, another way to say it, if you want to sound a little more casual, you can say, I need to get to the city center. I need to get to, that's another very common chunk. I need to get to the airport. I need to get to the hotel. Very simple, very direct.
Mm. And sometimes, you don't even need a full sentence. You can literally just say the address. 123 Main Street, please. That's it. Taxi drivers are used to this, but adding "please" at the end always makes it sound polite and natural.
Okay, so we've had two great chunks so far. Let's recap before we move on. First chunk, can you take me to? Followed by your destination. Second, I need to get to. Again, followed by your destination. Keep those in your head. Can you take me to? I need to get to. These are your go-to openers for any taxi ride.
Now, let's talk about something that comes up a lot. You get in the taxi and you want to ask how long the ride will take. This is really useful, especially if you have a flight or a meeting. So a natural way to ask is, how long will it take to get there? How long will it take to get there? That's a full, natural sentence. The key chunk inside it is, how long will it take? How long will it take? You can use this everywhere in English, not just in taxis. How long will it take to finish? How long will it take to arrive? Super versatile.
And the driver might say something like, about 20 minutes, depending on traffic. Ah, let's pull out some vocabulary there. Depending on traffic. This phrase is very common, depending on traffic. It means the answer could change because of road conditions. You'll hear this a lot in cities. Depending on traffic, it could be 30 minutes. Depending on traffic, we might be faster. Depending on traffic, a very natural expression.
And a related word is rush hour. Rush hour is the time of day when traffic is heaviest, usually in the morning or evening when people are going to or coming back from work. The driver might say, "It's rush hour right now, so it could take longer." Rush hour. That's a key vocabulary word for anyone traveling in a city.
So let's recap those. The sentence, how long will it take to get there? Use this to ask about travel time. The chunk, depending on traffic, use this to talk about uncertain time because of road conditions. And the vocabulary word rush hour, that's the busy time of day on the roads. How long will it take to get there? Depending on traffic, rush hour.
Okay, now let's get into giving directions inside the taxi.
Sometimes the driver doesn't know exactly where you're going, or maybe you know a faster route, so you need to know how to guide them. Let's start with the basics.
Turn left here, turn right at the next light. These are simple, but you have to be ready to say them fast. In a taxi, moments move quickly, so turn left, turn right, go straight. Those three chunks are your foundation for giving directions in English. Turn left, turn right, go straight.
And at the next light. That phrase is super useful. At the next light, turn left. At the next light, go straight. The next light means the next traffic light you come to. You'll hear and use this constantly when giving directions in English.
Another really useful one is on the right and on the left, as in the building is on the right, or my hotel is on the left just after the park. On the right, on the left. These tell someone which side of the road something is on.
And what if you're not sure where exactly it is? You can say, it should be around here somewhere. It should be around here somewhere. This is a very natural, relaxed way of saying you're close but not 100% certain. It should be around here somewhere. That's real everyday English.
I love that one because it's so real. People actually talk like that. It should be around here somewhere. Not everything has to be perfectly precise. English learners sometimes think they need to be very exact and formal, but natural English has a lot of these softer, vaguer expressions. It should be around here somewhere. That's real everyday English.
And another direction phrase is you can drop me off here. This is how you tell the driver to stop. You can drop me off here. The chunk drop me off means to let someone out of a vehicle. Drop me off. The driver drops you off at your destination. This is extremely common. You can drop me off here, drop me off at the corner, drop me off in front of the hotel.
Drop me off. Write that down if you need to. Drop me off. It's a phrasal verb, and it's everywhere in English when talking about cars and taxis and rides. Drop me off. Drop me off. Drop me off here, please.
All right, let's talk money. You're almost at your destination and you need to handle the payment. First, you might want to ask how much it will cost before you even start the ride. A very natural way to ask is how much do you charge to go to the airport? How much do you charge? That chunk, how much do you charge, is polite and direct. How much do you charge for a ride to downtown? How much do you charge per mile?
Or if there is a meter in the taxi, you might ask, do you go by the meter? Do you go by the meter? Going by the meter means the price is calculated by the distance and time shown on the taxi's meter. Do you go by the meter? This is important to ask because some taxis charge a flat rate instead.
A flat rate. That is another great vocabulary term. A flat rate means one fixed price, no matter how long the ride takes or how far you go. So the driver might say, it is a flat rate of $30 to the airport. Flat rate. Flat rate. If it is a flat rate, you know the price in advance, which is really handy.
And when you arrive and it's time to pay, you'll often hear or say, can I pay by card? Can I pay by card? Or do you take cards? Do you take cards? These are your payment questions. Can I pay by card? Do you take cards? Very short, very natural.
The driver might say, sorry, cash only. Cash only means they do not accept cards, only physical money. Cash only. Or they might say, we accept cards, and then you're good. So, can I pay by card? Do you take cards? Cash only, flat rate, lots of good payment vocabulary in taxis.
Let's recap the payment section. Chunk, how much do you charge? Use this to ask the price. Expression, do you go by the meter? Asking about how price is calculated. Vocabulary, flat rate, a fixed price. And phrases, can I pay by card and cash only? How much do you charge? Do you go by the meter? Flat rate. Can I pay by card? Cash only. Got it.
Now let's talk about tipping. In many English-speaking countries, especially in the United States, it is normal and expected to tip your taxi driver. A common way to handle this is to just say, keep the change. Keep the change. This means here's the money, and whatever's left over after the fare, you can keep it as a tip. Keep the change. That is one of the most classic taxi expressions in American English.
Ah, keep the change. I love that one. It's so simple, but it sounds so natural. Keep the change. If your fare is $14 and you hand the driver a 20, you say, keep the change, and you're done. No counting, no fumbling, just keep the change. Very smooth.
Or if you want to be a little more explicit about the tip, you can say, here's a little extra for you. Here's a little extra for you. That is warm, friendly, and it makes the driver feel appreciated. Here's a little extra for you. Not required, but a very nice touch.
And if you're not sure how much to tip, you can also just ask a local before your ride. How much should I tip a taxi driver here? How much should I tip? That's a perfectly fine question to ask. How much should I tip a taxi driver? People are usually happy to help.
Okay, let's do something a little fun. Let's say you want to have a small conversation with your driver, not just a silent ride. What kind of small talk works well in a taxi?
A very common opener is, have you been busy today? Have you been busy today? This is a friendly, easy question that drivers appreciate. It shows you're interested without being too personal. Have you been busy today?
Or you can talk about the weather. Classic English small talk. Pretty hot today, isn't it? Pretty hot today, isn't it? Or cold out there, right? These short tag questions at the end, isn't it, right, are a very natural part of English conversation. They invite the other person to agree with you. Pretty hot today, isn't it? Cold out there, right?
And if the driver says something you didn't quite catch, don't panic. Just say, sorry, could you say that again? Sorry, could you say that again? Or even simpler, sorry? With a rising tone, just sorry means please repeat what you said. Both work. Sorry, could you say that again? Or just sorry.
Could you say that again is a really important phrase, not just for taxis, but for all English communication. Could you say that again? Say it with confidence. It's not embarrassing to ask someone to repeat themselves. It's normal. Could you say that again? Totally fine.
Right. And another one, could you speak a little slower, please? If the driver is talking fast and you're struggling to follow, this is completely okay to say. Could you speak a little slower, please? Most people will slow down without a problem. Could you speak a little slower, please? Use it whenever you need it.
Now let's talk about one more scenario. What if something goes wrong? What if the driver is going the wrong way, or you realized you gave the wrong address?
This happens, it's life, and the key is to stay calm and be clear. You can say, I think we might be going the wrong way. I think we might be going the wrong way. Notice how polite that is. You're not accusing the driver of anything. You're saying, I think and might be. These soften the statement. I think we might be going the wrong way.
That is such a good point. I think and might be are hedging language. They make your statement less direct and more polite. In English, especially in situations where you want to avoid conflict, this kind of hedging is really useful. I think we might be going the wrong way, instead of just, hey, you're going the wrong way. Much softer.
Or if you gave the wrong address, you can say, actually, I made a mistake. The address is, actually, I made a mistake. This is clean and honest. You take responsibility and then give the correct information. Actually, the address is 45 Oak Street, not 45 Oak Avenue. Simple and clear.
And the word actually at the start of a sentence is really interesting. It's used to introduce a correction or something unexpected. Actually, I made a mistake. Actually, it's the other direction. Actually, I have a different address. It's a small word, but it does a big job. Actually.
All right, we're getting close to the end of our taxi ride and the end of this episode. Let's do one final big recap of everything we covered today, because repetition is how language sticks.
To start your ride, can you take me to, plus your destination? Can you take me to the airport? Can you take me to downtown? And I need to get to the station. These are your openers.
For asking about time, how long will it take to get there? And the important expression, depending on traffic, and the vocabulary word, rush hour. How long will it take? Depending on traffic, rush hour.
For directions, turn left, turn right, go straight, at the next light, on the right, on the left. And to stop the taxi, you can drop me off here. Drop me off. Drop me off here, please.
For payment, how much do you charge? Do you go by the meter? Flat rate. Can I pay by card? Cash only. And the classic, keep the change. Keep the change.
For small talk, have you been busy today? Pretty hot today, isn't it? And if you need something repeated, could you say that again? Or could you speak a little slower, please?
And if something goes wrong, I think we might be going the wrong way. Actually, I made a mistake. Hedging language, staying polite, staying calm.
That is a full taxi ride in English right there, from the moment you get in to the moment you get out and tip your driver.
We want you to actually practice these today. The next time you take any kind of ride, whether it's a taxi, a ride share, whatever, try using some of these phrases out loud, even just to yourself. Say, "Can you take me to the airport?" Say, "How long will it take depending on traffic?" Say, "Keep the change." Practice the sounds, practice the rhythm, and these chunks will start to feel natural very quickly.
That's the whole goal of Next Level English, not just learning English, but actually using it. Real situations, real language.
Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 1 of Next Level English. I'm Maya,
And I'm Tom.
and we'll catch you in the next episode. Keep practicing, keep going, and remember, every ride is a chance to learn. See you next time.